Good afternoon, people. As you can see, I'm still recovering from whatever I had because I got Vicks on my chest. But let's get past that. This is my movie review on Second Act, starring Jennifer Lopez and Jennifer Hudson. Yeah, I guess that's her name. Anyway, the movie itself, from the preview, you can sort of get the gist of what's going to happen. It's a very cliche film, but it's very fun film. It's very exciting. Something in my hair. What is that? I probably should have looked at this before. Anyway, it's a very fun film, and I went to go see it with my mom. She wanted to go see it. I wasn't too thrilled, but as I was watching it, I realized, it was something that was worth watching. It's about a woman who has spent her entire life building up her company, and she's waiting to get this promotion, and this big head honcho comes in and he's listening to all of her ideas. She's nailing everything, and what it boils down to is the fact that she doesn't have a college degree. And so they hire someone who wasn't part of the store to take over, and she's just fed up. She wanted the promotion. She didn't get the promotion because she didn't have the degree. Now, let me go off on a tangent real quick and talk about that, because that sort of hit home for me. You can spend your entire life in a field, and you can be the master of that field. But the fact of the matter is, if you don't have a college degree, they will hire someone from underneath you who's got little to no experience doing your job. And it's unfair. And the fact of the matter is, this happens a lot in the real world, in the business world. And to me, it never really made sense. If someone can prove to you that they can do the same job as someone who has a degree, why on earth would you not consider them for the job? Degrees may look good on paper, but that's all it is. Something written down on a piece of paper. This lady had been working for 15 years at the same store, would have eons more experience dealing with customers, dealing with security, dealing with everything at that store, and yet she gets passed up because she doesn't have a piece of paper that says she went to a school for 4 years. And that's kind of messed up. I sympathized with her on that, and when that so her best friend's son goes and makes her a fake everything, pretty much LinkedIn, Facebook, everything, and submits her resume to all these places, and someone finally contacts her. I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, she goes in and she has all of this knowledge from everything she's done in the past 15 years, and she knows her shit. So when she's in there and she's faking I was like, how is she gonna do that? How's she gonna fake it? And she does it really well because she knows how to do her job. She knows what she wants. She knows what the customers want because she's been there. She's been there at the like the bottom, watching and listening to customers complain about what they like and what they don't like. Whatever. Anyway, you got the movie going on, and there's this family drama involved because she had a child when she was 17. It was a one night stand. Her parents were already passed, and her grandmother was raising her. And so she went to a party, had a one night stand with some guy that was really hot, apparently, and she got pregnant. Her grandmother ended up passing, and she was on her own, pregnant with a baby, and decided that she couldn't take care of the child anymore and gave her up. It was her daughter. Comes to find out that the company she's working for, one of the top execs is her daughter. And I got that from the get go. I was like, okay, so the girl she gave up, the baby she gave up was a girl, and she was adopted, but she never realized who adopted her. I'm like, okay, so Jennifer Hudson, she's too nice in this role to be the antagonist, so that has to be her daughter. And sure enough, like, after about 30 minutes of them being in like the same company, the father finally comes out and says, "Hey, I hired this woman knowing that she was knowing that she was your birth mother because you were looking for her and you gave up, and I just went and I found her." Then, okay, so at that point, I was sort of taken out of the movie because if you were to discover that she was, not who she said she was, that she was your daughter's birth mother, wouldn't you come to find out that all the shit that was in her profile wasn't real? That's the one thing that sort of tripped me up. So you have the guy who does like the owner of the company hires the mom, the main character, Jennifer Lopez, and realize who she is. But yet he gets fooled by all the fake bullshit that her Jennifer Lopez's best friend's son created. I never got that. That to me, it still bothers me. That's the one thing about the movie that doesn't make sense. Everything just falls apart around that little circumstance. Because if the father knew from the get go who she was, doesn't make sense. But anyway, that's how they ended up coming together, and they ended up competing for like this whole thing where the skincare line for that company wasn't organic enough for the consumer base. So Jennifer Lopez was like, you know what, you need something that's 100% organic. You need something that's better. And so Jennifer Hudson, her daughter, I don't think that's her name. Jennifer Hudson is the one who sings was on Dreamgirls. So what is this Jennifer? Not Jennifer. Look her up. I think her name she was on High School Musical. That chick from High School Musical. I don't know her name, but she was tasked with revamping their current existing line and making it more organic without having it be too costly. And so, of course, Jennifer Lopez's team wins. It's kind of boring. The entire competition's kind of boring. The film, after they realize they're like mother and daughter, gets really stale really quickly because it's all a bunch of cliche stuff. And, you know, someone from the company was like, you know what, I'm going to look into her. Cliche. Someone comes in with all these credentials, too good to be true. Someone's jealous. Someone looks into her or him and come to find out, oh, they're a fraud. Cliche. But what I liked and enjoyed about this film was Jennifer Lopez came out and told the truth before anyone else could discover it. And that was something that I wasn't expecting. I was expecting her to, go through all this, yada, 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 and then end up, you know, getting busted. But no, it didn't happen. She ended up coming out. She ended up coming clean, and she resigned, of course. And then out of nowhere, so her daughter gets pissed at her and was like, you've been lying to me the entire time, yada, yada, yada. I don't know who you are. And so she leaves and she goes back to college because apparently she never went to college or finished college either, yet she was given a job. And that also bothered me. So you have the CEO, owner, or whatever of the company give his adopted daughter a job. Then you have Jennifer Lopez come out and say, you know what? I just made the company millions of dollars in 3.5 months, but I don't have a college degree, so I'm going to resign because y'all will never hire me. And they just let her go. They didn't say, hey, you know what? Stay on. We're glad you told the truth. Stay on. Go back to school and work with us. But they didn't do any of that. Instead, they just let her leave. And then the father, the CEO of the company, is like, you know what? Why don't you start your own company? And he did, and I guess he fronted her the money, or I'm not sure how it happened, but she started her own company out of nowhere, and it just didn't make a lot of sense. So when she quits, the movie it goes really quickly, and a lot of stuff starts happening, and all of her dreams start coming true, and it was just rushed. It didn't make sense to me, and I'm like, okay, so happily ever after. The guy that she was with at the beginning broke up with her because she didn't want to have kids because she felt guilty for giving up her daughter. Now that she ended up meeting her daughter, she doesn't feel as guilty, so she's ready to start a family. Granted, like, they're both super old. The guy was like, oh yeah, let's adopt. And I'm like, okay, well, that's a good solution, but at the same time, I don't know. I just felt like it was a bunch of cliches. So since it was a giant cliche starts with a C. I'll give this film a C simply because there was a lot of stuff in it that pulled me out. So a lot of stuff that I'm thinking about still currently, and it just to me doesn't add up. The whole the CEO guy not knowing that Jennifer Lopez's character wasn't in fact who she said she was after finding out she was her like birth mother, her daughter's birth mother, and it just his daughter's birth mother. I don't know. I'm over here thinking about it now, and it just doesn't make any sense. It got a C rating though. Is that a C? Yeah, it's a C. C for y'all. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not sure what movie I'm going to go see next. I already saw Aquaman. I'm not sure what else is coming out this year, if anything. We've got like 3 days left. But I'm looking forward to next year. Um, I really want to. I want to see Shazam. I don't know if they're going to call him Shazam, if they're going to call him Captain Marvel. I want them to call. I want DC to call him Captain Marvel, even though the name of the movie Shazam. But I'll talk about that later. Bye. Bye. I'm going off. I'm talking about something totally different right now. Hope I feel better too.